Hello everybody, welcome to WhatCulture Gaming. I'm Scott, joined by Rich.
Hello.
And if you were following us across the week, you'll already know that there's a leaked patent out there for the new potential PS5. Now the new thing, wait a minute, we'll get there and how ridiculous it looks. It does look kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
The new thing to point out is that a developer for Codemasters, who's been working with the industry since 1992, has confirmed that it's real. Now the thing that they've confirmed is that the dev kit is real. 9 times out of 10, this doesn't mean that the dev kit becomes the retail unit, but they also couldn't say for certain. But your initial thoughts on the console, sir?
Oh, God, when I saw that come through the other day saying, look, this is what the new looks like, it's like, oh my God, what happened? We're suddenly back to like the PS3 boomerang controller
Hell
style,
yeah, we are.
like horrid looking thing. It's like, let's go for the gamer aesthetic. Lots of vents and sharp angles. And it's like, oh no.
Part of me is so game for that. Like we were saying before we started recording, that it sort of looks like a weird kill streak bonus. It looks like something.
It looks like a trip mine.
Yes, it looks like some weird sort of sci-fi thing.
It looks like a panel I put on the wall where you go over to it as your character and go boop and opens a door. It's one of those things. It's a thing from a game. It's like they turned the trip mine from GoldenEye into a plug and play console.
To be fair, I'm kind of game for it. Like give me because the thing is with the PS4's design, like it's quite sleek and it's quite monolithic.
Oh, it's beautiful.
It's like it's like standard, and yeah, like it's kind of beautiful. But for me, I want something that looks more unique. Like having gone back obviously 30 years worth and gotten an N64, things that sort of stand out a little bit from the crowd. I remember at the start of the generation, people being like, the new Xbox One and the PS4 as it was back then, that they're not that differentiable. Whereas like with this, if this is the design they go for, it is this big old stupid jet engine thing.
It's gonna stand out. But like me personally, give me a black cube, give me a black cuboid. I want a black cuboid. Like just give me something like that looks really nice. The PS4 and the PS4 Slim are absolutely stunning. The Xbox One original looked like a VCR, which is not nice. And the Xbox One S is absolutely gorgeous.
Yes.
But I like me a bit of minimalism.
So the person who tweeted out is called Matthew Stott, who works for Codemasters, and yeah, they confirmed the dev side of it. It's worth talking about dev kits in general because you were mentioning that, like, because we've been around dev kits before, and they do tend to be drastically different. Like, the ones
a dev kit is literally just it's a PC. It's just a PC in a box with a PlayStation logo on the front of it. That's all it is. Like if you look at the PS4 dev kits, they're literally just like a box. It looks like it looks like a fat GameCube almost. Like that's what the dev kit is. If they're going that like over the top for a dev kit, I mean, give them credit. There's nothing quite like getting a new dev kit in it. It's like, oh, it's a grey PC. Instead, it's this ridiculous thing with vents and RGB lighting and stuff. But yeah, it seems a bit much for a dev kit. So for me, that already swings it more towards this is what the retail one's going to look like.
That's what
they
like,
don't need
out.
to make the dev kits look fancy. It just needs to have all the hardware in so people can make their games.
And it's like I've been around a couple of dev kits in the past when I've been around different. I did some work experience with a couple of game devs and whatever, and they had the big consoles there, and they are just these big boxes. Which is unless I'm missing something, this is one of the first times that a company has put this much sort of general aesthetic work into a dev kit. Which seems kind of weird. The thing that stands out, it looks like ventilation. It looks like there's these big sort of fans and vents and holes on it.
That's the thing that was taken into consideration before, is the idea that they're going to actually step up the cooling. Because one big thing about consoles is their cooling is crap. Console cooling.
The old Xbox 360.
Yeah, it's like the 360 design. The whole 360 design was flawed because of the way that it was so compact. Cooling wise, it couldn't get anywhere. And buying those like stands with two little crappy fans on the back, this will improve cooling. Bollocks, does it? Genuinely doesn't. If they're going from the base up, going right, we're going to sort out cooling. That's a great thing, especially since the new PS4 is going to be like Ryzen based with ray tracing and all this sort of thing. It's like that's going to generate quite a bit of heat. So if they're actually taking that into consideration, even with the dev kits, that is a really good sign for Sony.
It does make me wonder about because you do see all those third-party additional things that sort of fill in the blanks and fix the problems that a lot
even though they don't work.
Some most
they don't work.
But I guess overheating is a sort of valid issue though. Like it is something that's played console. So if they can get out ahead of it this time and actually provide a solution that does work right out the box, then that's better. Also, there's all the general sort of like scuttlebutt around the system that this is the final PlayStation. Which on the renders that have come out, Let's Go Digital have provided some new renders that we can throw on the screen, just working up the best possible version based on the leaked patent that came out earlier this week. Looking at that, they still use the PS5 logo, and it's like if this is the final PlayStation, whether it's the PS5 or not, does it come with this sort of cooling system and this overall bulky ass design that lasts longer?
It's a future-proofing system. Because that's the one thing, as you had with you going from your OG PS4 to PS4 Pro. Like consoles over time, they do keel over, they do die. Like my Mega Drive is still going, but there are moments when I have to reboot it a couple of times to get a game to start working. If they're open, almost literally opening up the console to make it more airflowy, keep it. I mean, obviously it would require more cleaning, but that's the thing that you'd have to do to keep the console alive. that is a great future-proofing from Sony.
Yeah, I think so. I think and as well, it's worth just sort of picking apart little sort of affectations that they've done in the design, like using the PS5 logo. The thing that comes from the pattern is the V on the top, which I know Josh and Rich mentioned in the other video. But we still aren't seeing anything close to the PlayStation logo coming back, which I would like to see. I would like to see a grey color scheme. I guess it's just do you have a personal preference on black PlayStations versus the old school grey?
Do you know what? I've always looked at the different color PlayStations and thought, I like that. And then it's actually underneath my TV, everything's black.
Right.
Everything is black, and it's I think I'd rather keep it that way.
I'm with it. I think if they brought back the old school PlayStation logo, it would be a nice little for the players type thing.
The PlayStation, the PS4. PS Classic version, the anniversary one, absolutely stunning. It's really tempting to pick it up.
And it seems that was because they did a whole thing with an extra bonus theme and whatever. It seems like there is a way to do that. If you're going to do the final PlayStation, just call it the PlayStation. And for me, I would go back to the old school grey, but they'll probably do a variant version of it anyway.
Give us options off the bat. the Xbox One and the PS4 both launched in just black, I think. I don't think they had any.
Yes. Oh yeah, then they sort of changed.
They did add obviously more as time goes on, but it's very rare that, especially with a home console, they give you just a bunch of colours off the bat. Maybe a GameCube did, because the GameCube had black and purple and
and 64 and stuff too.
Yeah, 64,
But I guess in terms of another thing for this personal preference is it does look big, bulky, and ridiculous. Do you think over time we'd get used to it? It is just that initial thought of this is so different from the PS4.
It's the same with the Xbox One, as I said. When the Xbox One was first revealed, God, that thing is not. It's weird. It's they've gone for monolithic, but they've still made it look bad
a little bit
somehow. And, over time, it doesn't look. It's not terrible, but you see the One S and you think, okay, that's a lot nicer. Maybe we get used to it, but I think for me, more specifically, it's the angular, it's not a cuboid design. I think that's, even when you go back far enough, consoles are cuboids. They kind of always have been. The only thing that really hasn't, I would say, is the Virtual Boy, but that was a whole different kettle of fish. So this is genuinely one of a really big change up in console design, and if that is Sony going out on a big high, on a big look at us, this is it from now on, then fair enough. But for me personally, I'd rather they did a stealth version that was here's a box with a disc drive. Cool.
Rather than
what I'd have.
A jet engine sort of bolted onto the side of it.
I don't want this thing glowing under my TV. I don't care.
Well, that's what I was just going to ask you, because you're way more into PCs than me, and you've modded your PC, and you get
my PC's beautiful.
It is. It's
so
a big old.
It's unreal.
It's like a cyber sort of big old thing. Looks like it's about to come to life. Yeah. And it's with that sort of thing. Do you think that they're tapping into that?
I think that's what they're doing. I mean, the RGB lighting is a big thing in the PC market. And even with consoles and stuff, when the light bar on the PS4, the DualShock 4 was and you can change the color of it. I mean, you can do that only on PC. You can't change it manually on the PS4, but the RGB nature, the ability to change that color, they did play up into games. Last of Us has it set to green. I think Resident Evil 4, it
flashes in GTA if you get chased by the police.
Yeah, maybe that is something they'll play into, I think, or maybe they'll give you the means of adding, has RGB support, because backlighting TVs to have RGB behind it to sort of continue the color bleed from what's on your screen onto the wall behind it. That's something they could incorporate into that, and that's a really cool thing to do. But for me personally, aside from having my PC on my desk right next to me, seeing it all glowing and looking really ridiculous.
Living in cyberpunk land.
Far more ridiculous than it really needs to be. For me personally, it's just going to be sitting under my TV. I'd rather have my focus there than on the thing glowing underneath.
Yeah. I think it is weird because with things like the SSD drive, and obviously we've started getting, especially this generation, we've started crunching frame rates, and we've started having more conversations about parity to PC versions and being able to keep up with the PC version. Aesthetically, it seems like maybe part of this is going to tap into that. If they do kind of go forward with this. Personally, for me, I do just love how ridiculous it is, but I'm curious how much they stick with it. But we'll see. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Maybe this is the sort of design that you're looking for from Sony, or maybe you'd like something that's more streamlined and old school. For now, though, I've been Scott from WhatCulture.com.
I've been Rich. Make it a cuboid.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Look, my son. Look at the marvel that I have created. Look at the quality fabric hand-stitched by blind orphans. The perfect letter spacing calculated so meticulously that Rich Hudson had an erection for months about it. And a colouring so deep that I had to buy the dye off the dark web. Oh no, the beast has grown angry, angered by our drab fashion choices. I am such a fool to think that it wouldn't try to infect us with its perfect design. Quick, we must do something to appease the beast. Why don't we buy one from shop.whatculture.com? Look, it's already got Scott Nash.
Oh no!
Shop.whatculture.com! Quick, let's go and buy one right now! Let's go buy one right now!